Hello everyone, and welcome to Divine Debut 11. This is Kathy speaking. Thank you for joining us here today, the 17th of June of 2025. I hope you're all doing well. It is a Tuesday, so the messenger is here. We see what's going on in the world. It's chaos. It's crazy. We know the astrology has been really harsh, so as above so below, remember my friends. So just showing you the chart quickly. We've got the moon transiting through Pisces. Right, remember that the eclipses are happening on the axis Pisces and Virgo, so as any planets that pass through this axis, as well as obviously Gemini and Sagittarius, so the mutable signs, any planets that are transiting through the sensitive degrees of where we've had eclipses. So obviously as the nodes go, they count backwards, right? So obviously it's the later degrees of the mutable signs that have been affected by eclipses more so, but this is a very sensitive area, and as the moon is transiting through, it will trigger memory of the eclipses we've already had since September of last year, 2024. Anyway, but mainly speaking, we've got Uranus at the 29th degree, an heretic difficult degree of Taurus, and we've got Mars transiting Mars. That's just finished up that 29th degree of Leo. Remember, Mars is fire. It could be anything cutting. It could be war, warlike energies. We're talking collectively as well as personally. And Uranus is sudden, abrupt breakthroughs, breaking free, breaking out. But that's not through easy access and easy situations. We've seen so much going on, expansion of the war. All you hear about now between, Iran and Israel and the US, all you hear about is Third World War. And it can be very scary. I would say center yourself. Don't be listening to the news all the time. Trust that whatever is going on is going to bring change. That is a certainty. Remember Uranus in Taurus, which is a fixed earth sign. The most fixed of the four signs, including Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius. And so, Uranus and Mars in this square are abruptly bringing change through challenges, through bombs and weapons and the military, and just, Uranus is change. He's the awakener. Those that have been asleep need to awaken as to what's really going on. A lot is said on the news, on mainstream media, and even the other media sites that we watch. Yes, it sells, the potential that there can be the expansion of war. Not that there isn't, obviously, but remember, my dear friends, that Jupiter has now entered Cancer. Jupiter is the protector. He is very powerful. He's the biggest planet in our solar system. He's in his exaltation in Cancer, squaring off to Saturn. Saturn is the law, it's governments, it's leaders, right? And Saturn and Neptune, both in the sign of war, which is Aries, new beginnings, new seasons, so on and so forth. And remember, Jupiter just passed over that 0 degree of Cancer, which of course is, we're talking about the cardinal signs. So cardinal means change, it means initiation. It can speak to war, but putting in the effort, being brave, being bold to make the changes that are necessary. I do feel that humanity is protected, even though with Pluto in Aquarius, I've been saying, the first degrees, that Pluto has been transiting through. The last anaretic degrees, 27, 28, 29, then first, second, third degrees are always different. There's change. They're always difficult because of change. We're creatures of comforts. We don't like to get bothered to make the changes, but the world is changing generally. And Pluto in the sign of Aquarius to speak to the future. We're racing towards the future. So much going on in technology, right? We've got robots, we've got AI, we've got the internet. There's so much that Spirit is showing us relative to the future. And remember that Pluto is in the sign that is ruled by Uranus, but we could say that they're in good aspect. So we do have some help, and we see this square now between Jupiter, who wants to expand, wants to protect. Remember, Cancer is where we reside, our country, our home, our emotional life, our family, our loved ones. And Saturn is in a weak position. Jupiter wins over Saturn here because Jupiter is in his exaltation, whereas Saturn prefers to be in Libra. He's exalted in Libra, so he's in a fairly weak position. Remember that Jupiter is the truth. Jupiter is that bigger picture, whereas Neptune could be the illusion, the deception of war. So let's take a step back, take a few breaths and relax ourselves. Yes, we're still in the danger zone. And as soon as Uranus leaves Taurus, we'll be sort of out of the woods. We're looking to the 7th of July. It can be very stressful, very anxious. We will be very anxious about what's happening in the world. Let's come together. Let's pray. We've seen air disasters with that airplane falling with the loss of 300 lives in India. Let's send our prayers to those families that have been affected, prayers for the souls that have left this planet. As I said, Pluto in Aquarius, the first degrees are difficult, so we're still seeing many souls leaving this planet, but what can I say? It's all in the divine. It's the plan. It's God's plan. We never really can explain why things happen, and it's not our place to do that anyway. We need to trust. We'll be taking the Black Moon astrology cards today to see astrologically how the world is affected, how we are affected individually as well. So the collective and the individual. That's what the messenger is all about. And we'll be taking the moonology to see emotionally what's going on. The moon does speak to things that are hidden. There's a lot of deception. There's a lot of lies, storytelling that we may be hearing off the news. So remember, Jupiter brings us the truth. Neptune in Aries. Neptune is the storytelling, the illusion. So the truth versus illusion. The truth is trying to come out. And remember, Jupiter speaks to wisdom and education. Educate yourself with what's going on in the world, with geopolitics and what's going on also relative to the weather. As Mars has just left Leo, I'm sure that it is summer in the northern hemisphere. We'll be seeing lots of fires. Fires can be literal and they can also be metaphorical. Fires in our own lives, fires, literal fires, fires caused by bombs, by planes, by, what can I say? Let's pray for the best for the world and for the individual. Let's go. Let's see what's going on. Remember, the the gentleman that survived the plane crash, that was a miracle in itself. And yes, he was seated in seat 11. He was at the front of the plane, which usually the front of the plane, the nose of the plane usually receives all that jolt, that pressure, as you know, a plane wouldn't usually nosedive. It's usually the survivors are usually behind the wings towards the tail. So this gentleman was, this was a miracle that he survived. Okay. And he was seated in seat 11, and one of my friends here, she also noted that he was also placed in hospital on bed number 11. So 11, 11, my dear friends, what can I say? Okay, we've got the Empress here. Beautiful. The Empress is the mother. Remember that she's all about abundance and creation and aspiration, creating something. We've got Libra, we've got Taurus. This is Venus, and Venus is in her home sign of Taurus at this time. So we need to be grounded where our finances, where our self-worth, where our ability to nurture and provide ourselves, our loved ones, and others is concerned. We also need to be patient. We do have the ability to give birth. Something is being birthed, as I usually see the Empress. She is a number 3. Remember, the fool's journey begins at the 0. She's a number 3. So something has begun already. It's in the there's a bun in the oven, we could say. Something has been planted. Something is growing. So we're either creating ourselves or something is being created. The Empress speaks of patience. She speaks of self-worth. She knows her value. She's worked really hard to get to the position where she's at. She does relate to all the queens. And we see the sun in the background there. The sun does speak to the ego, or to healing, or to love, matters pertaining to heart, confidence. She knows her worth, she knows her value. So there's a sense of abundance. 3s do speak to expansion and growth. It is the first initial step of creating something. The next card would be the Emperor, which the Emperor would provide us with more security and stability. The Empress is all about growth, expansion, nurturing, loving unconditionally. So nurturing, what is it that you're hoping to create? Who are you mothering? Who are you being mothered by? The Empress does speak to, she's a promise that there will be nurturing, there will be expansion, there will be abundance. Remember, as I said, Jupiter having ingressed into the sign of Cancer. Cancer is also the mother. So there is promise for protection, there's promise for expansion, there's promise for peace. But we need to get over this hump in the road right now. Remember that Jupiter and Saturn, they had squared twice. Jupiter in the sign of Gemini and Saturn in the sign of Pisces. So they did square on the mutable axis, so therefore more so affected the mutable signs born at the last few days. That's where they squared, but now they're squaring in other signs because they've ingressed into other signs, which does promise change, initiation. Remember, it's the cardinal signs now, and cardinal signs mean a new season. It's like Spirit is asking that we leave the old and look towards what has been planted already and what has been initiated. Okay, let's see how the planets are affecting us. First of all, with the Black Moon astrology. Pay attention to your prophetic dreams as the moon is transiting through Pisces. I always tend to have important prophetic dreams, which to me are visions into the future. Pay attention. And remember, the North Node is in Pisces, so the Spirit may be sending you signals and signs as to your future moving forward through prophetic dreams, signs, and synchronicities. Let's see how these stars are affecting us at this time. Earth element and stability. Earth does speak to practical matters, to a physicality, to materialism, and to being grounded. Remember that Jupiter square Neptune could be a big bubble that's going to burst. Don't go overboard in being optimistic. If Iran is signing the deal with the US, stay grounded. Don't get overexcited and don't jump the gun. We've still got some work that we need to do, some time that needs to pass. As you know, Jupiter and Saturn, they are big planets, and they need to, their square needs to break off well. And also the square of Uranus and Mars, but also Uranus entering Gemini, which loves to be in air. We'll have a lot more clear-cut information and understanding. Mercury and mind. Mercury could be business, could be, journalism, information, but also how we communicate, how we perceive things. Mercury can be deals that are made as well. Mercury is logic, so I'm hoping, and it's a number 3 again. I'm going to say logic and the heart. The heart and logic could be in discord at this time. So remember, mind versus heart, heart versus mind. Maybe we need to get grounded. Look at the practical, look at the reality, and not just at what you're hearing or what is communicated. Because remember that Mercury can also be trickery. Mercury is the trickster. Mercury is also the magician. Where is Mercury? He's in Cancer. He's not in good aspect. In Cancer, his communication is blurted. It's diluted. It's watered down. It's too emotional, right? And what's beautiful is we're coming up, the sun is coming up to Jupiter. The sun moves faster than Jupiter, of course, a degree a day. So happy birthday, my dear Gemini. If you're celebrating your birthday, it hasn't been easy for you. Having your birthday, towards the end of the mutable signs has been really tough. So I feel that this could be a break for the mutable signs or the people who have got planets, angles, or important celestial bodies, let's say, at the, last degrees of the mutable signs. So Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, and Pisces. Obviously, the mutable signs are being hit by the eclipses, but that's about fated changes. It's, where if we've lost ourselves, we're not on track, Spirit puts us on track and eclipses anything that, we've outgrown. So we're coming up to the most positive aspect in the year, Sun conjoining with Jupiter. That is beautiful. That is brilliant. That is so positive. And we'll be seeing a new moon on the 25th, new moon in Cancer at those early degrees with Jupiter there. So there's a lot of promise. There's a lot of promise, as Spirit always takes care of business. So even though there are challenging aspects, we've also got support, protection, and helpful situations going on as well. That's how Spirit balances things out. Things may not be balanced 50-50 like the scales, but at least once we've gone through hardship, and hard aspects do speak to change, discomfort, possibly also discord, through challenges, the changes are made. And then we find ourselves in other situations and change is never easy for us humans. We're creatures of habit. Let's see what else. Gemini, and I think, see, this has got a lot to do with the energy of Gemini. Now, Gemini is the twins. It can speak to siblings. We're all sisters and brothers. Gemini is the third natural house. So again, also relative to communication, to the internet, to journalism, to your close environment, your neighborhood, your closer relatives, your siblings, your neighbors, your uncles, aunts, anything to do with education. Remember what I said, it's you need to educate yourself and don't just trust whatever you're being told. Do your own research. So I do think that this is very positive because Mercury is about air, it's about movement, it's about thought. Earth speaks to practical matters, to reality. So this is about getting grounded and thinking logically and making a decision. Possibly there are dilemmas collectively, of course, I'm sure, as well as personally. And remember, the sun is finishing up now in Gemini, following in the steps of Jupiter. Jupiter in Gemini, who was in full position, was not in a strong position, as he rules the sign opposite, Sagittarius. So Jupiter now has stepped into his exaltation, his strength, and therefore he promises to bring blessings, to bring the bigger picture, to bring the wisdom. Jupiter is a blessing, surely. Let's take one more here on the Mercury and Gemini. And we've got Uranus and Genius. My God, that is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. We've got Uranus, which is the higher octave of Mercury. Uranus is the right side of the mind. It's connection to spirit and the divine, having the higher mind. So listening to your higher self. Maybe this could be also a dilemma, or, sort of bouncing back from logic and what spirit is telling you, what messages spirit is sending us. Uranus is the genius, and Uranus is at the last degree, so he will bring the sudden unexpected revelation. I feel that will be an ingenious breakthrough, and I do feel that obviously that will probably come from an ingenious mind, someone who's got a very strong Uranus in their chart. I wonder who that could be. Someone that thinks very futuristically. This could be an Aquarius. This could be someone with a very strong placement of Uranus. But that will happen. That will happen through challenge, of course. And we've got Uranus on Gemini. This could be, of course, oh wow, Uranus is stepping into Gemini. If that's not don't worry, people, everything will be fine. Of course, Uranus will step into Gemini and then be in really good aspect to the outer planets. There are stepping stones and there are promises for humanity and for us personally to get out of the rut, out of the dungeon, out of the underworld in which we've been placed these past few years, my dear friends. Amazing. 8th house, endings and beginnings. I get the goosebumps. Scorpio comes through as well. Big endings, big beginnings. Obviously, after an ending, there is a beginning. Let's see how the Moonology Oracle, the moon, let's see what it will reveal. Because the moon is anything hidden. The moon can speak to our emotional or even, security relative to our psyche, our living conditions, the place where we live. Remember, the moon is humanity as well. It's the people. And the people are frightened right now because there is so much fear-mongering going on out there. Not to say that things are not tough. I won't lie to you. And I won't lie to you that everyone fears. Deep down, we've all got those fears. right? That's what we've been fed for so many years now. That's the ability to bring fear to humanity, is the ability to control and to steer humanity, the sheep, right, in a particular direction. I think that through the challenging aspects of the past few years, I think humanity is waking up, becoming more ingenious, becoming more intelligent, and having breakthroughs, right? Even having gone through awakening, remember, because Pluto is about the underworld, things that are hidden, and Aquarius is the future. So we're getting the peak as to where humanity is going towards in the future. Balance, spirituality, and practicality. Full moon in Pisces. Wow, okay. We did have an eclipse. It was a full moon. Let me just show you that for a second. Here it is. 18th of September of 2024, we had a lunar partial eclipse, and that was at the 26th degree of Pisces, which the moon is heading towards. Pay attention, because whatever was going on in September last year, and, well, I'll get to that in a minute. Where am I? Lost myself for a second there. So pay attention to the 18th of June, which is tomorrow, as the moon will be passing over and reminding us of that full moon, that partial lunar eclipse, 18th of September. Remember, eclipses can affect you if you've got planets there, but we've all got Pisces somewhere in our chart. So they can affect you, the eclipses can affect you on the day, 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after. It would be more likely, but eclipses can play out months before and months after. But let's look at the March. Yeah, here we go. A total lunar eclipse as well on the 14th of March at 24 of Virgo, which is opposite to where the moon will be on the 18th. So let's look to tomorrow, which is the 18th of the month. And interesting because it's the 18th of June 6. That's 9 months, roughly, is it? 9-10 months from that eclipse. Still very, very activated, surely. So it is pointing to that full moon in Pisces, which was a lunar eclipse. And surrender to the divine, another full moon. Something is closing, something is being revealed. This is saying go with the flow. Surrender to the divine. The divine has got the upper hand, obviously. Surrender again brings the energy of Pisces. Remember, the hanging man is all about surrender. And new moon in Scorpio. Work through your fears. We were talking about fears, right? New moon in Scorpio. This is a promise, obviously, for the new moon in Scorpio forthcoming in the Scorpio season. But that also tells me that we're heading towards a major metamorphosis, and there will be a lot of revelations, because Scorpio is anything that is hidden. We've got a lot of water, so trust your instinct, trust your intuition, and trust the emotions. If you're going through very challenging emotions, it could be what's boiling up from the psyche that needs to be healed and cleared. Okay? And the answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini. Well, we had the new moon in Gemini, so in the Sagittarius season, which will be following the new moon in Scorpio, so we'll have answers around that time. And we've got Gemini again here, the twins. The twins can also speak to literal twins or siblings, or twin flames, or even soulmates, I will say. Have faith in your dreams, waxing crescent moon. So something is growing, something will be revealed. Have faith in your dreams. And remember that Pisces is dreams. Pisces rules the 12th house of sleep as well. Pay attention to your dreams. Let's take the tarot for a minute. And we did have Scorpio here. Remember that, wow. Juno, the asteroid of commitment and marriage and contracts, is retrograding through Scorpio. So whatever is toxic and, whether it's an agreement, whether it's infidelity, you're in a love triangle, or you're in a contract, you're bound by a certain contract that's giving you a lot of, that's poisoning you, whether it's an agreement, could be business, could be anything spoken, anything written. Juno is retrograding through Scorpio, and of course Lilith, which is darkness, is bouncing through Scorpio and connecting with Juno all the time. And Lilith can speak to those low vibrational energies of jealousy, control, death, fears, losing your marbles, losing your mind, acting totally out of character. Anything that is promised that can be birthed. Remember, we had the Empress here, and Lilith and Juno are two asteroids or two deities that were giving birth on their own to their own offspring. So maybe that's a message that's telling us, because we'll be seeing the retrograde. Yes, Juno will be turning direct, but she'll be going over the degrees through Scorpio that she retrograded over, and the early 2 degrees of Sag. So if you've got anything there that's important for you, but it's telling us that maybe we can, maybe we need to be our own empress. Maybe we need to take the position of leadership. Maybe we're called at this time, because of the challenging aspects, that we need to love, nurture, understand our ability and our self-worth. And if there isn't an emperor there, let's say, an emperor who will offer you that support, that stability, that promise of protection, then the Empress is good to go on her own, because whatever she's giving birth to, she's giving birth to it on her own. She's got that ability, right? Remember, she's the mother, and Juno, the wife of Zeus, was the mother, who never had, she was never given any children by Jupiter, by Zeus, and therefore she was giving birth. She gave birth to her own offspring. So she had the ability to do that. Okay, so whatever we're giving birth to right now, trust that it's already started. It's already started, and in a matter of, could be 9 months for some of you, for others it's 6 months. I usually see her as 3 months pregnant. Usually, after 3 months, a pregnancy would be more stable and more secure. So do take care, love, nurture yourself and your loved ones, and trust that whatever you're hoping to manifest, whatever dream you're hoping to manifest, there is opportunity. It's just that we're going through testing times right now. Okay, we've got a Page of Cups, another Pisces energy. There is an offer on the table. This could be a message. This could be a child. This could be a creative pursuit, a creative offer as well that comes unexpectedly. Strength. We've got Leo here. Strength. Remember, this speaks to trust, trusting in your higher self, trusting in that kundalini, that deep passion, at the base of our spine, that we can take this, we've got the ability to take this situation to the final end, that we've got the ability to create. As long as we are confident, we've got the creativity, we know we're giving birth to something. Fifth house, it could be a romantic situation, could be anything to do with your children, parent-children situations. And of course, Leo is the natural fifth house, which speaks to romance, risk-taking, investments, play. Two cards that speak to play, that speak to a risk. Yes. Unexpected turns. Leo is confidence, is leadership. Remember, Leo is a leader, and we've got the sun behind. We've got the sun behind this Empress, which is saying to the Empress, you're a leader. You are very creative. There's a lot of desire, a lot of passion here. Remember that Mars just left yesterday, today, depending on where you are. Finished up in the sign of Leo. Interesting because, Regulus is at the 0 degree of Virgo, and Regulus is the king. Regulus is the ability. It's the royal star, the heart of the lion, and we've got the heart and we've got the lion here as well. So it could speak to a leader, of course. We've got many very strong leaders now that are in conflict and in warrior mode and in warlike energies. So there could be also unexpected offerings towards a king, towards something that we're creating right now, that we're giving birth to. There's a lot of desire, a lot of passion. Remember, the royal star Regulus can speak to sudden fame and fortune, recognition. Of course, it can mean sudden downfalls as well. I don't see anything like sudden negative downfalls at this time yet. Let's see what's going on. We've got Seven of Cups, the illusion. It could be Venus in Scorpio. Venus is actually in the opposite sign, in a home sign of the house that she rules, of Taurus, where she's very practical, very secure, very stable, very slow moving, but she likes anything that speaks to security. She loves her money. She loves her tantalizing those five senses. She loves her money. She likes to be stable. Venus in Scorpio, very much the energy of Lilith and Juno right now. It's like we're basking, we're bathing in the poison right now, in those negative energies, because there's a lot there that is unclear. There are many opportunities here, but what is the reality? There are 7 cups here. Which cup do I take? We've got the snake, we've got the shell, we've got the keys, we've got the flowers, we've got the jewels, we've got the spider, any poison. There's so much here. There's so much on offer. I would say that because Venus in Scorpio is the natural 8th house, which speaks to big amounts of money that are hidden, big amounts of money that come from other sources, black money, if I could use that term, right? And of course, money is energy and it is power. Venus in Scorpio. Scorpio is also that kundalini. It's that deep connection. It could be physical, could be emotional. Venus in Scorpio, she never gets enough. Just like the North Node, which is the head of the dragon, right? Gobbling up everything that it touches on. It's like Spirit is telling us here, don't go overboard. Don't get carried away. Stay grounded. There can be a lot of jealousy. There can be a lot of illusions. There can be a lot of deception right now. Stand tall. Trust in your intuition. Trust in what you're feeling. Go with the flow. yes, this can also open many, many doors, even though there's illusion. The thing is to understand, to connect with your higher self and make the right choice. As I said, don't go overboard, don't get overexcited, because there could be an illusion or deception or a downfall here. There is an opportune moment that the portal opens here. There is the 1111. Venus in Aries, which is where she retrograded. She did retrograde through Pisces, the end of Pisces and the beginning of Aries, but now she stepped into Taurus, which will bring practical matters, reality into focus. And we can be looking back to the retrograde. Let's look to the beginning of the year, what was going on for you there. Four of Wands can speak to stability, opportunities. This is the 1111 for me. And it can speak also to setting down those firm foundations. This could be a new home. This could be a new business. This is a new agreement. This is a new, committing to something, having the confidence. Venus has come through very strongly. And look at this. It's interesting because she's in Scorpio and Aries, both signs ruled by Mars. And Mars now is in practical Virgo. Virgo is all about being grounded, going through the changes, because Virgo is a mutable sign. And Mars, of course, will also be triggering within the next couple of months as he's transiting through Virgo. He'll be triggering the eclipses as well. But that's not quite yet because he's at the first degrees. Right, so yes, Scorpio and Mars, Scorpio and Aries, both ruled by Mars. Mars now is not in such a fiery position. Maybe we could think more straight instead of getting carried away with Mars in Leo, going overboard. The only danger here is Venus in Aries. She's in the house of Mars. So she acts like Mars. She's more masculine. But also the thing is that she's initiating a brand new journey. Maybe this has opened up as Venus was retrograding through Aries the past few months. There was the initiation. Maybe the door opens now with the page of cups here, because here is the offer and it's very unexpected. Here is the opportunity. The only danger is that Venus in Aries does not think. She jumps straight in, and it can be a little bit dangerous. Remember, she's on the fool's journey. Aries is crazy. Aries is the fool, remember. I've got an Aries daughter, so I'm not downgrading or talking negatively about Aries individuals. We've all got Aries somewhere in our chart, and we've got a King of Swords. There will be a lot of communication, a lot of clearing out, a lot of understanding. This would be Aquarius for me. So there's the ingenious communication, thought, advice. This could be someone that is advising. This could be a lawyer. This could be a doctor. This could be a crazy scientist. It could be someone that's very forward thinking, very, very intelligent, being able to figure the illusion out, right? Remember, the King of Swords sees everything as black and white. Everything is clear cut. He will tell you the truth, usually. He will tell you the truth, even if the truth hurts. But that clears the air. It clears the illusion. Interesting, we've got Aquarius, Leo, so we're talking about the fixed signs as well as we've got Pluto in the sign of Aquarius. Yep, we've been through the ringer, we've been through the mill. We've got the Knight of Coins. This is the earth energy. This is Virgo. Get grounded. There's slow and steady pace. There's more about steady pace, slow, gradual, and making sure that we don't get stuck on imperfections, but this is more about strategizing and planning for the future. Remember that Mars could be a masculine archetype, or it's our masculine side within us that's now entered Virgo and saying slow down, because we want to get, it's like, getting your foot off the pedal, and that's literal. Still do that, because there's still a lot of danger. The Knight of Coins says, get your foot off the pedal. You're better off getting there 6 months down the track than not getting there at all. You're better off getting there 5 minutes later than what you would if you're pressing on the accelerator. This is about perfecting and going by the book, not breaking the rules, because breaking the rules right now can get you into deep water. Remember what the Spirit is saying, go with the flow. Let's see what's at the foundation. We've got judgment. There's a moment of crisis, possible choices, choosing between two. This is help coming from Spirit, from Archangel Michael. There's a resurrection, but that's happening through crisis. It's a 20. 20 breaks down to a 2, so 2s can be dilemmas. They can be relationships, agreements, disagreements. Remember, 2s are the scales, Libra, right? But this is Scorpio as well. What's beneath that? And we've got faith. So we've got Taurus, Scorpio, again, very strong, speaking to the fixed signs. So this is breakthrough relative to where we've been fixed or fixated on a particular situation, right? This is change of mind, change of religion, change of beliefs. Spirit is saying keep the faith. Even through a moment of crisis, we're protected, we're looked after. This is Archangel Michael saying that humanity is going through a resurrection. There are second chances at life, for this world. Trust the divine plan, and trust that even though Uranus is transiting through Taurus, which is bringing a lot of unexpected turnarounds, a lot of uncertainty in our finances, in the economic global situation. Just trust in the divine plan, because humanity is going through an ending, unless this is someone that is, because this could be, if this is relational, someone needs time. They know where they're moving towards, and Virgo is the north node. No, sorry, Virgo is where the south node is, and the south node, which will be connecting with, Mars will be connecting with the south node. That could also be a time where we're leaving our comfort zone and moving towards the north node. So that will be, collectively, it won't be easy. Okay, it won't be easy. Let's move forward and see when that will be. Okay, so that will be roughly mid-July. So we did talk about 18th of June. So exactly a month later, Mars will be connecting with the south node. So that could be also a little bit, there will be discomfort there. We see that certainly here with a very difficult Thor's hammer. This is very challenging, and it's pointing to Pluto. So big change, a release, letting go. Possibly also, if you can't make up your mind, your decision, because Venus is in Gemini, there could be dilemmas. It feels like the decision may be made by Spirit. Okay, so let's see what's going on in the emotional department. Moving forward, you could take this message for when you're watching this reading, more personally, of course. Remember, as I said, today's the 17th of June. Happy birthday if you're celebrating your birthday. It's 17th of June rings a bell. I don't know, does it ring a bell to you? Did something happen last year? 17th of June. It's telling me something, but I just can't put my finger on it. What's going on in the emotional subconscious? There's a purging. See, there's an ending. There's change. Crossroads. Opportunities. Crossroads can speak to movement, travel. We've got Mercury, which is the traveler. He's the messenger of the gods, remember? So there will be dilemmas and decisions that need to be made. Reinvention promises that we're reinventing our lives. And we're, with all the planets still direct, this is promising with the retrogrades forward moving in the near future, there will be the choices, the opportunities to reinvent whatever there's something that you're letting go of, and this is a resurrection, but still we're in a moment of crisis. We're letting go of karmic partners, and remember, karma does play out, even between countries. They've obviously got beef because they've got karma to solve between one country to the other, or one world leader, one country leader to another leader of a country. So there are karmic partnerships possibly that are being purged at this time. The signs are telling us that we're moving towards a reinvention. Forgiveness is necessary, okay, because let's not throw out the baby with the bathwater. I know we've all been through it, because this is also could be an apology. Someone is asking for forgiveness here. Someone understands here. Remember, holding on to bad blood or anger or frustration doesn't help us get over our own issues, keeps us bound, keeps us hurting. So forgiveness is necessary. That's what the signs are telling us. You may be expecting someone to return and ask for forgiveness. I don't know if you will forgive and keep, or you will forgive and move forward. Let's take two more. Yep, because someone's going through a dark night of the soul, and humanity is going through that as well. Oh my goodness, the numbing is very similar to the Seven of Cups here. The numbing does speak to medicine or alcohol or not seeing things clearly. It's the Pisces North Node. To get to, from the South Node in Virgo, which is practical, daily. It's our physicality, our daily life, our daily life, our work situations, what we do on a daily basis. That's more the practical side of things. But remember, the North Node is where Pisces is. Some people can't handle the reality, and they're turning towards either medicinal escapes, dreamy, or just daydreaming or imagining, or just being in their own bubble to escape a difficult situation, or they're going overboard drinking or binging, whatever it is. This is not easy, reaching the North Node, the collective North Node in Pisces. We need to keep the faith, my dear friends, that Spirit will aid us at the right moment, will resurrect, and there is our Emperor. My dear friends, is this your Emperor? Is this an individual for you, or is it just your security, your stability, or someone that you've been with that's been trying to control you? Could be someone that you're releasing that was very narcissistic. Someone may have been in a contract, in a work situation, a partnership, a marriage. We've also got children here. So, the Emperor we know is Aries. It could be Taurus. It could be, I see them as, it does say Aries. Of course, this is the Aries energy, but remember, Aries is about new season. So I would throw in, obviously, we could be talking to the cardinal signs, or I do get Aquarius many times. I get the Saturnian energy because, Capricorn, which is Saturn ruled, and Aquarius. The Emperor didn't get to the Capricorn rules the natural 10th house, which is the house of leadership. The Emperor didn't get to that position through being a follower. He's a leader and he gives the orders. But we want an emperor that's in the upright, not reversed. Therefore, he can, in reversed, he will lose control. He's not able to lead. Maybe Spirit is saying the Empress has got the strength to lead at this time. Or if this is someone you're releasing, again, the Empress, she, remember, she's Taurus. Taurus is the seed that we plant into the earth. So I do get, as I said, again, Juno and Lilith, who are giving birth to their own offspring. Whatever you're giving birth to, you've got the ability to do it on your own. Just like the song, I did it my way, I did it myself, right? I did it my way. And my way or the highway. Sometimes I'm going to say this is not an easy time at all. Let's take one more because we've still got barriers here. The answer is no. And as I said, it's the challenging aspects, the breakthrough that Uranus can bring, as Uranus has just squared with Mars. But Uranus can bring those breakthrough early July. So until 7th of July, anything can happen. We still, if you haven't seen a breakthrough, expect a breakthrough. There will be. There's Uranus. There is the Tower moment. There is the breakdown, the breakthrough. We've got fifth dimension and we've got a twin flame connection here as well. I want to take just 3 Sibilas and then we'll take a message from the Energy Oracle and close up this reading. It was a long reading. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting. Let's look at the page first of all. What's that about? Yep, someone, the communication could be about someone being stuck, someone feeling as though they're in a prison. There are a lot of worries. 9 of Swords about a child. Matters pertaining to the law, karma, timing. Lots of worries relative to this apology as well. Yep, a lot of thought. The merchant is thinking whether they could be after an ending as well, that there's been no flirtation, no love, no offers, because someone has been in the dungeon. Someone's in trouble with the law or dealing with karmic karmic situations and stuck energies and being limited. Here we've got the merchant. So anything to do with business as well. Someone's trying to figure out if they can manage a situation, I want to say. If they can trust the other party, if this could be someone that's wondering if the passion is the same between you and another person, or if they've got the ability to be able to lead where in their romantic life, take a risk. There's a lot of thought also about giving birth to another, I don't know, it could be another project, it could be another business deal. Let's have a look at the 7 of Cups, because there's a lot of illusion, possible confusion. Also big money, big hidden money is at play here. And money, remember, is energy, it is power. We've got the love reunion here. There's confusion, there's illusion, or someone needs to make a choice, and there's a lot of fantasy here. Fantasy or dream, someone's dreaming of a reunion. What is the portal? We've got news that's coming in, positive news. It's taken a while, it's coming from far. What is this King of Swords about? There's a lot that will be revealed that was going on behind closed doors. There is an opportunity for someone being more open about their emotions, about their fantasies, about what they were going through, and they were not sharing it with you. It could have been legal situations, legal divorce, anything to do with contracts, on a new home, someone moving home, someone changing their residency, where they're residing, where they're living, who they're living with. Right? The news that comes in will reveal lots that were hidden, that were things that were going on behind closed doors. There's also a sexual connotation here. So someone, maybe there has been also infidelity here, and something has been revealed, which makes the change here, brings a lot of change. Let's look at the outgoing card, and we've got sacerdote, the priest. The priest that, or the vicar, let's say, he's hiding something under his cape. So there are hidden matters that could be quite shocking. It is a 13, so Scorpio, that have been hidden within a contract, hidden within a marriage, hidden between a family, lots of secrets within, and this could also speak to hidden money, because this is Taurus, and Uranus does speak to the second natural house of Taurus. This is what I have. Uranus is there, which is breaking through, bringing revelations, shocks. Someone may have been hiding money for a rainy day, hiding money from a partner, from a partnership, business. And we've got the Superbia. The Superbia, which is something wonderful coming in. You need to trust. This is a very spiritual card. This is pride. Can be a little bit of vanity. This is luck. Remember, this could also speak to a spiritual connection. This is luck. This is prosperity. This is very strong intuition. And a great sense of pride, as it's like the two, it's like the door that opens, or a decision that's made. Because remember Juno, her animal totem, her symbol in the animals was the peacock, the male peacock. So there's strong signs and synchronicities, because her feathers are like our third eye. But it does also speak to great abundance, and of course Juno is very similar to the Empress. Love and nurture, and be patient with the idea that you're giving birth to something you will be very proud at some point. Here is Giovina Fanciulla, the young virgin. There's new energies, there's purification through change going on. This is like a rebirth, right? Feeling young at heart. There could be mother-daughter situations here, mother-son, mother-child situations. Let's see what the energy oracle tells us here. Wow, so many revelations, very strong Scorpio energies. Very strong energies relative to the dark night of the soul, dealing with karmic purges or karmic people being purged from our lives. The negativity, the poison being purged as it poisons us first and then the others. We've still got some work to do here with the barrier. The door is still closed. So interesting. We've got Saturn and Uranus here. This is like a battle of the titans, like whatever's going on up there, as above so below. Who's going to be the strongest and who's going to take the throne, right? Obviously Uranus is an outer planet and he can find the ingenious way, but if you look at the way things went in mythology, Saturn outsmarted Uranus. And then Jupiter, the son of Saturn, outsmarted Saturn. So the child always outsmarts the parent. So what can I say? I mean, there's the intelligence, there's the ingenious mind. Uranus is AI. It's great intelligence. It's having the bigger picture. Let's see on how to break out and break free. What is the message today, please, Spirit? And we've got indecision. So it's in the reverse, which says someone is making their decision. We see the signpost here as well. Let's read the indecision in the reverse. Number 8, which is also the strength card. So the reverse message says, congratulations. This card reversed indicates a newfound freedom from indecision. You have either recently made or are just about to make an important decision. This is an important time, so bring a clarity of consciousness to your new direction. The fragmented and confused energy that you've been sending out is gone, and now you can bring new structure to your plans and your life. You may not have known what to do in the past, but your soul has been trying to guide you all along. Open up to the potential of this time and create some clear and powerful intentions regarding your new choice. Then let yourself move forward with purpose and personal power. And that's what's coming through. My dear friends, no more indecision as we're leaving the Gemini season, thankfully. All right. I'm really looking forward to the next 2 lunations, the new moon in Cancer on the 25th. Then on the 10th of July, we've got an amazing full moon in Capricorn. That will be at the 19th degree of Capricorn. Very positive, lots of promise there. So looking forward to that. No more indecision. Remember, we've got here the crossroads. Possibly in the near future with the reinvention. Remember, the means revisiting, and retrogrades revisiting an old situation. As I said, the nodes, I should say the moon tomorrow will be passing over the degrees of the eclipses of March and last September, and then a month from now Mars will be on the south node. So I think that will probably be, after that full moon in Capricorn, we'll see which way we're going. Right? There will be someone that will be making a big decision here, big decisions to move forward. It did say congratulations, so it's positive. My friends, thank you so much. Have faith in your dreams. Something is growing, something is potentially here, but we're also releasing and letting go of the toxin, the poison, the inability to forgive and forget, so that we can move forward. Otherwise, it's a self-imprisoning situation. Right? Remember, karmic situations are all about lessons. So we're going through collectively, the world and all of us are going through lots of karmic purging and lots of lessons. But it speaks to change, and change is healthy. Love and light, everyone. Thank you so much for your love always. I hope you're doing well. Sending you lots of blessings. The dangerous aspects are still not over, so stay safe. Don't do any daredevil, crazy things at this time. Don't rush. Slow down. Focus and collect yourself, yeah? If you're all scattered. Talk to you soon. I'll be back tomorrow with the love reading.